So I finished. So I finished for the time being. That's at least 2 hours just spending time. What did I do? I watered. Well, if you take from filling the bottles, so filling the bottles took at least 40 minutes. There's over 100 bottles, and I know there is an easier way. Get bigger bottles. I've got some bigger bottles, but with the little bottles it allows me to give the individual plants the right amount that they need. So 2 of the small bottles is enough depending on the size of the plant. I'm tired now. And so what I did was I went round and watered all the young plants, young trees that I have out there that I'm sure I was just looking at the backdrop. This is a project. It's going to be a stand. I was going to do a second stand. I've made a stand and I was going to do a second stand. And this is my art portfolio, or the case with papers in. And what had happened is we had a leak because next door is it's just separated by a piece of wood, and there was a leak with the washing machine, and so it leaked under and went all over, and so all the papers in there had got mold on them. So I put it out there, and it's like, okay, when I'm ready to sort it out, which will be soon, this week, I'll have to just get rid of it because it's gone all the way through. I thought it was just on the outside, but it's gone all the way through the papers, and there was some artwork in there that it was just like, anyway, happens. And I have a bigger one in there that it's also gone through, but there was my pastel papers that was in a plastic folder, so they've been protected, so that's about the only thing in there, so I've got to sort them out. But it was just the whole gearing yourself up into the right frame of mind. Anyway, all I feel like doing now is having a cup of tea. So yeah, all of the plants out in the garden have been watered, bar some. You know, as I said, I've just focused on the small ones and the things that will suffer the longer we go without rain. It did rain shortly yesterday, but it wasn't enough to really saturate the ground and give the plants, you know, the water that they needed. I did find on my sweet sop plant, again, it's a young plant. It's been grown for the last year, but it's just, I guess where it is, again, the ground is just like it's on rock, and you know, there is a layer of clay, and I'm again looking to see what other things I might need to put on the ground, on the soil, maybe some compost from my compost bin that might give them an injection they need. But I've been putting down the Mexican sunflower, which is like a fertilizer as well, so maybe the compost, if I can get rid of the ants. These ants. Anyway, so that's what I spent my time doing. But the soursop had these little like scale, or I don't know, mealybugs, I don't know, like little scale insects. I'm not sure what they are, I've never seen them. So I scraped off what I could. I will gave the plant a good watering, scraped off what I could, and I'll check again tomorrow to see. And that's the importance of, you know, going around and looking at the plants to see if, you know, actually they were suffering a bit or they needed a bit more water, because, you know, they were reaching that point of no return, like my bread nut tree. I'm so annoyed about the bread nut tree. I'm so looking forward to the chocolate flavoured roasted nuts. Anyway. But yeah, that's like a 2-hour job in itself, if not, 2.5 hours of, you know, walking around, checking the plants, watering them, going back. And it's one of the things that you don't necessarily think about. Oh yeah, you know, and do some garden. It's somebody else I was talking about. I'm talking about somebody else who, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do some gardening like it's competition. It's not. where we can work together. That's the difference between people who really want to do gardening and people who see it as, you know, they're going to prove that they're good gardeners, is that gardeners share. Everybody I've known that is a gardener is, you know, yeah, you know, come share, you know, if I've got something that you may want, you know, it's not to say that you can't sell your products, you know, sell stuff, sell plants that it's taken you time to grow. So I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about those who see it like, you know, they've never had no interest before, and you might be one of them, but you're willing to learn, and best way to learn is from other gardeners. So, but it's those people who say it's really easy and who have no idea. Anyway, that's what it is. But yeah, most gardeners, so if you are starting out and you ask, you know, anybody about the plants, and, you know, they love to talk about their successes and things that they found, and it is such a rewarding thing to do. So I want to encourage you that if you are wanting to start gardening, that you just go ahead and, you know, the neighbouring farmer is here. Surprising the dog hadn't barked. Anyway, but yeah, you go ahead and, you know, start and do what you can. As it is at the time being, what you're going to have to do is maybe go to your local supermarket, depending on where you are in the world, whether all your shops are kind of shut down and only the essential shops are open. That's what we've got here. So it's only the supermarkets, and hardware stores are not open. And I'll have to check. See, we went out and did some shopping, so we are saying that we wouldn't necessarily need to go out for anything in the next 2 weeks, and that is doing our part to, you know, alleviate the amount of people that are getting sick and having to go into the hospitals. So, you know, where we can, and again, growing stuff. If I've got something that's growing, like, you know, if this happened when I had all those pumpkins, I'd have pumpkins to share. But as it was, you know, one would grow, like we had, I think I had 5 at one point growing, and I just picked them as and when I needed to, and that was our food over a period of, I guess, a month. That's how long it lasted. So, trying to grow some other things. I've got some peppers growing in a pot, and I need to put them out. Again, snails, and that's probably what got the bread nut tree. So, oh, do you know what? I've just sitting here chatting to you guys. I've just like, I felt, okay, I've rested now. I just need a cup of tea. So take care for now, and I'll see you soon. Bye.